Now we consider the story of Ruth. Ruth was not an Israelite, she was a Moabitess who married an Israelite. You see, she moves from happiness and, the expectation of all wonderful things as a bride, a new bride. Then she moves to great loss and despair. Next, she moves to a great leap of faith as a result of her undying devotion to her mother-in-law, Naomi. Then she walks in obedience and faith. And finally, she experiences restoration, renewal, and a new life. Yes, it's sad that Ruth lost her husband at a young age. And I can just imagine that the circumstances and the timing back then, they all shouted at Ruth, "Go back home." After all, it would make sense because her mother-in-law Naomi had no more sons for her to marry, and if she returned home, chances are her family would be able to arrange another marriage for her. However, Ruth moved in obedience to God. She decided to continue in her loyalty and devotion to a hurting and desolate Naomi. And she left all that she knew and followed Naomi back to Bethlehem. This had to be a great faith step on Ruth's part. She left the familiar to go to a country that she knew nothing of and even to a culture that she had not experienced before. Then they get to Bethlehem and surprise, life is hard. It would be very hard for widows because they did not have any male protectors or providers. However, Ruth did not curl up in despair and say, "Oh, I'm just going to die here." No, she was determined to make a living for them. She didn't get a job as a laborer. In fact, she had to glean behind the laborers, picking up what was left behind. However, as a result of her loyalty and her devotion to her mother-in-law, she attracted the attention of Boaz and received his favor. However, in order for Ruth to receive her full restoration, she had to obey the instructions of Naomi. You see, at the end of the harvest, there was a great celebration at the threshing floor. And Naomi told Ruth to prepare herself, get all spruced up and go to this party. It was a party celebration, right? So what did Ruth do? She was obedient. She washed, anointed herself, and got dressed and went to this threshing floor. However, she had to wait on a set time. She had to wait on a time when Boaz would not be distracted. There would be no one else talking to him, so that she could have his full attention to make her request and for him to consider it fully. Ruth bided her time, and I encourage you to read the 4 chapters of the book of Ruth. It's so wonderful. I just love it. Yay. Right? So Ruth bided her time and she went to Boaz and she made her request for him to be her kinsman redeemer. Boaz was so humbled and honored by her request that he promised that he would work to see that there would be a resolution. At the end of the day, Boaz married Ruth and they had a son together, Obed. So now the lady who was a young widow with no children, she's now married, she's settled, she has divine provision, she's happy once more, and she has a son. Yay. However, it was not just Ruth who experienced this restoration, because Naomi experienced restoration as well, because she was able to nurse Obed. And she then found her new purpose once more. You may feel as if life has not been kind to you, and you may be thinking, well, it's just as well that I just give up. The last thing on your mind is anything at all to do with faith. You are just trying to survive. You're just trying to get to the next day. Trust me, I understand it. I have been there. However, your step of devotion and complete faith in Christ is going to bring your restoration, even the restoration renewal that you need in this season of your life. Don't give up. I encourage you to be vigilant and listen to the voice of God, even the voice of Jesus Christ, giving you his divine instructions. The voice of Jesus Christ will let you know the decisive actions that you need to take and exactly when you need to take them so that you can begin to experience your divine restoration and increase in Him. Hold on. Be strong. Don't give up.